You are now entering the MuseCast.
Hey, welcome to the MuseCast. We're back.
Episode 92.
92. I'm glad you said that because I almost said 91. Everyone would be confused, and it would be.
You have gone forwards and backwards in time.
They would have turned it off thinking they had already watched it because so many people watched the last episode.
Yeah, I know.
So just hey, I want to establish something, guys. All right. Especially while we're getting guests and stuff like that. Our play counts on our episodes on YouTube are not the highest. What happens is we'd love to have more people know about it and have higher numbers, but I do put out the clips. The clips are like 8 minutes, 10 minutes, and there's multiple clips for each episode. Those actually get the most plays, and those go across, in particular, Facebook, but I'm going to start putting them on Instagram regularly too, because that's ridiculous that it's just so many places to post stuff, plus I have to do my own stuff. So it's like, but nonetheless, those clips plus the YouTube views are pretty big endorsement for what we're doing. We actually, between everything, we generate, a few thousand plays a month, and on episodes where we have on somebody that's of notoriety beyond us, it's a bigger boost than that. We are aiming to try and get some bigger guests in 2026. And it sounds like we're actually going to have a return guest, which will be fun, with Tom Cheshire from West End Motel. Yeah. He's wanting to get back on. And just to plug that real quick, the big birthday celebration in Brent Hinds' honor is going to be in Atlanta at, what's the club?
West End Fest is the name of the event.
Yes.
I can't remember the name of the club, but we'll have.
Because I've never been to the club before. That's the thing. But
yeah. So when we did the march for Brent Hinds, there was, I believe, Tom needs to correct me, but I know we started at a place called Elmire. And Elmire is a little dive downtown Art District, Atlanta, and I think they serve tacos there. We were there very briefly at the beginning of the march, but it started at Elmire and it ended at another venue. And I think that other venue might be where this is happening, a little bit further down the road. But no, it's going to be great. I think it's January. It's in the middle of January 16th. Yeah.
Really? So we're going. Hopefully my son's going, as I assume Kyron's going.
Oh yeah.
And then my Amy might go, my wife.
Oh really?
We're trying to pull it off. It's so hard with our 3-year-old, but that's kind of the holdup. He's going through a phase right now where I don't know. He's a lot more of a handful than Tristan was.
Where he is just a ball of fire 3-year-old, and his
dad. Dude, he is a fireball. He's a fireball. Straight up. He's a little Dick Burke.
That's
in the making.
Takes after his Uncle Dick. His good old weird Uncle Dick,
Yeah.
Jumping off of book cabinets and climbing the bookshelves.
We're already there, man, literally, and it's scary as hell sometimes.
So when I was a child, I have a scar on my chin that you can't see because I've got a beard right now, but I have this scar.
I can see it. Yeah, I mean, kind of. I can see there's a little loss of hair there. I never noticed that.
I have this scar, and what that was my family had this camper, like the pull behind campers. Back in the day, this would have been in the 80s because I would have been like maybe Felix's age, and there was a bed in the back. And then like the kitchen, like you walk in the middle, there's a little walkway. And then on the left, there's like a kitchen with a stove. And then in the back, there's the bed. And above the bed, there were like cabinets with these doors that opened like bottom up,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I remember being a child being fascinated with those cabinets. And I wanted to sleep up there. And my parents let me sleep up there in the cabinet above their bed. And all I remember was sleeping and then falling and then hitting the stove. And this was like the first first memory I have, one of the oldest memories I have, core memory of an injury, like a bad injury. Like I remember falling. I remember smack.
As a lesson.
Hit the corner of the stove. It cut me open, split my whole chin open. Had to go I had to go get stitches.
Is this in the middle of the night or in the morning?
Yeah, in the middle of the night. Oh, totally in the middle of the night. I don't know, probably 3 a.m. Perfect.
Where were you guys? You were traveling?
We were in Oregon. That's all I know. That's why I'm wearing the Oregon shirt, because I knew I was going to tell this stupid story.
You planned this story. Wow, what a segue.
Yeah.
Master segue teller. That's from a year of podcasting right there.
That is set up at its finest. This was actually the most comfortable, closest shirt in my closet after the shower.
It was just destiny, really.
But yeah, man, I fell down as a toddler, like just doing that stupid stuff. I wanted to sleep up there, got to sleep up there. And then I remember my parents said, they're going to put a tent over your head, and the little tent, and then they're going to give you a shot. It's going to sting for just a second, and then you're not going to feel anything. And they were right. That's all I remember is like this sheet. I was like, this is a shitty tent. They just laid a sheet over my head. I was wide awake, but they like laid it over my eyes, and I was like just looking at the light shining through the sheet, and obviously it was just like a surgical thing where they laid over my head, and only this was exposed. And then they
what is that? He just saw that in a medical book. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, what's happening right now?
Ew, gross.
Yeah, no, but totally fun. So West End Fest, middle of January 16th.
Yeah, that's going to be badass. We're definitely going to go to that. And also, did you know Finger 11 came out with a new album this last week?
I do. I've been following them. They came out with the first single off of it quite a while ago, prior to Rockville. It was called Adrenaline. What? Adrenaline. Yeah. No.
This is a subject we're about to talk about. We're going to talk about the different way that songs and albums have been released over the last couple of years. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I've actually been following this because huge old school Finger 11 fan.
Yeah, me too.
Not so much the newer post Paralyzer stuff.
Me too. That's sort of, they kind of lost me a little bit.
They found super huge success. They got the unicorn. They wrote the one song that they'll just ride the rest of their careers off that one song, and that's great. I think it's awesome. But I just the stuff I just didn't connect with it. But they released that song Adrenaline like early this year, 2025.
Is that the opening track?
Prior to Rock.
But then it drops in a big way for
Adrenaline.
Yeah. That's the opening track.
Yeah. It's super, really like old school.
I like that song.
Yeah.
So far, it's my favorite song on the album after one listen.
Yeah, I haven't heard the whole album. I've heard that song. Then they teased a couple other ones in the last couple of months. I didn't realize that the entirety of the track list is out. But I will say this. Finger 11 was a standout surprise, holy crap, act at Rockville. They played like during the day. They weren't like a later night band. They were like one of those middle of the hot ass day bands. But
last year at Rockville.
Yeah, 2025 Rockville. And it was the day that I think it was the day that Jason and Dave weren't there. They missed like the first day, so I want to say it would have been Thursday. But phenomenal. I was floored at how good they were. Like, I've saw them on the Grayest of Blue Skies tour at Floyd's. That was the one and only time I'd ever seen them with Brett's band, Virgos. And
you'd only seen them one other time.
I'd only seen them the one time. And
wow.
That was literally, they were touring on their second album.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
And I was like, holy cow, they came out with the old school stuff, man. They come out with like Quicksand, songs off Tip. And
those first 2.5 albums. It's like the third album was good too, but it was like, but those first, but it's like half of it was like,
they were leaning towards another style.
It was starting to transition into something that was a bit more mainstream. Those first 2 albums, man, I listened to them so much, and I had no idea who they were the first time. The reason I was surprised that you had only seen them once is because in Tallahassee they had played so many times. They had come through almost annually for a while there, for like a few years in a row.
Yeah, it had to have been like when I wasn't in Tallahassee. There was a period that I didn't live
That
there.
could be. When
Yeah,
what age were you when you moved to
I mean,
Tallahassee?
I was
Or you were in and out. You
I
were
was
in and out.
17 when I moved away, and I didn't come back. I was in my early 20s when I came back.
Yeah.
So
That's
there's
right.
like a
That was the
5-year
era. Yeah.
and that was like that would have been
Yeah.
like 2003, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah,
like,
that's
right
it. You missed that window. But the first time I saw them was on a Halloween show at the Late Night Library, which was a venue or club here in town.
Yeah,
They had an outdoor stage set up for Halloween, and Finger 11. I didn't get to see anybody's face. They were all wearing masks for Halloween, and I wasn't really. I don't know that I knew who they were yet, even though my roommate, he's like, I think he was the one that said, dude, that's Finger 11. Like, it's like, I hadn't heard him before. We went there to see Fuel. Fuel was the headliner. Remember Fuel?
yeah. Brett Scallions and
Yeah. Dude, which they had some cool stuff, but Finger 11 was much more my thing. And I ended up following Finger 11 for years. And they really had such. I still, when I listen back to that stuff, I love that sound. But they found that success with Paralyzer. It really launched that and that other song that I can't remember the name of, but it was but I traded it all if I gave it all the way for
therapy.
That was a huge hit. Yeah, which was a pretty song, but not really representatory. And that oftentimes happens for bands that are trying to do something a little different, where the song that launches them is the one that's
then
closer to.
They're like, hey, this money is just racking in because of this weird song. They're probably like, man, Joe wrote that song off the cuff in the studio.
Right. That's only one riff.
Yeah, that was
like one riff and a beat.
And that became my hang up with Finger 11, and I don't want to criticize the band because I love the band. But what happened for me was, Tip came out and Grace of Blue Skies came out, and they were both like very new metal, very like just outside the box new metal. They weren't really doing anything. It wasn't proggy. It wasn't like crazy structure stuff. But then what happened that just kind of started bugging me was on the third album, they started to write songs that to me felt like they had an intro that was the verse, and then it would get to this next section that to me would always feel like a pre-chorus. It would always feel like, oh, it's building. Oh, it's going to get good. But then it would go back to the first part, and then it's like, oh, they didn't do the chorus. They're teasing. And then the next time around, then you're like, oh, that pre-chorus is the chorus, and it bothered me. I was like, oh man, I always felt listening to it when I was at that age. This would have been me in my late teens, early 20s, very opinionated. I knew all about music and
right.
But I always felt like I was bummed out. Like, man, I know they got more in the tank. Like they could have really wrote a chorus to send that thing home, but it didn't happen. And it would irk me just a little bit. Like,
I don't remember exactly what it was that dropped off for me a bit on the third album, but it really was I would still consider that a very good album. It's just that the first two albums for me were start to finish like, wow, they just got deeper and deeper. Yeah. Whereas like the third album had some stuff that was totally on that level, and then it had some other stuff. I think that was where Therapy happened. That's when that song came out.
It was like acoustic. Yeah, it was like,
and I liked that song. To me, it was just weird that it was like as big of a hit as it was in comparison to the rest of their material. But that's the reality of, I'm a prog guy, and they weren't playing prog music, but I still felt like what you're talking about kind of reminds me a little bit of like, I think that might have been something I kind of liked on particular songs, that it didn't go to where you thought it would go, and that it kind of didn't sit in the pocket of a full chorus. And maybe I kind of liked the tension of that, or that it was that. But I'll tell you, when I revisited some of that stuff, every few years I'll revisit. Yeah. And when I revisited the last time, and now I'm going to get back into it because I'm checking out their new stuff, but the biggest thing that stood out to me that I just didn't acknowledge at the time that was such a driver of their sound was the bass. The bass lines are killer. That bass player, he was such a melody machine. And I was like, oh man, like when I listen to that and you hone in on the bass, it's like, that's some of the best shit right there. Like that is like so much of the driving force behind their sound. And I just did not pick up on it when I was younger.
And I think he's I might be wrong, but I think he's like the singer's brother. I think it might be the brother dynamic there. I want to say that is, but I might be wrong, but you're right. And there was the bass was hit or miss with me with them. There were some songs that was incredible. And then some songs, like, I almost felt like the bassist was doing like the country 1-2 step a lot.
Oh, okay. Maybe
young.
I like that. I don't know. Maybe that was the contrast I liked, you know?
Yeah.
We'd have to go song by song. And
yeah.
like,
they were just different. They were just different enough that it made it such a unique thing. It stood out. And then, well,
I always love the vocals too.
What's your take on this? Because when I was diehard Finger 11, and then a band came out that to me was very similar vocally and stylistically.
Taking over, they're taking over, everything taking over, they're taking over, taking over, they're taking over, everything taking over, they're taking over. Can I create music with emotion? Bring about change or inspire devotion. Harmonia only wants to rule our minds, make us their slaves and destroy our lives. Taking over, they're taking over, everything taking over, they're taking over, taking over, they're taking over, everything taking over, they're taking over. Can I create music with emotion? Bring about change or inspire devotion.
And that was the early 3 Days Grace stuff.
Didn't do it for me.
Early Adam. Well, and it didn't do it for me at the time either, because I was like, to me, I was like, this band is taking Finger 11's blueprint and they're playing similarly. And the vocalist, now, granted, today, Adam Gontier is one of my all-time favorite vocalists. I think he's amazing. I think his voice, he has so much unique color to his voice, his tone.
Is this the singer for Finger 11 or for 3 Days Grace?
This is the singer for 3 Days Grace.
Okay, all right. That's what I don't know that the singer's name for Finger 11. I'm just not realizing.
But and I don't know his name either. It's weird, but
and I love it. He's absolute. I wouldn't like Finger 11 the way I do if it wasn't for the vocalist. But
they're both two of my favorite singers, and they're in the same range. They both have a uniquely distinctive tone to their voice, where early Adam Gontier to me it was just too similar. I felt like it was like, oh, this is like we had Stone Temple Pilots and now we got Seven Mary 3, which is a cruel thing to say, but that's when I listen back to Seven Mary 3, that's what I hear. I'm like, oh, these guys were like they're just ripping Pilots, style stuff, man. Like, okay. And I didn't pick up on it when I was young, but that uniqueness in his voice never went away. And in the new album, I've listened to the other ones that they released, talking about Finger 11 now. The other couple of songs that they released before that I've only heard like 2 more on top of the main Adrenaline single. And they did that pre-chorus thing. I was like, they're doing it again. Like, it's
they are kind of doing it again. So,
but it doesn't bother me like it did back then. Like, I think I'm just a little more mature. Like, it's not my song. They're not doing what I think they should do. They're doing what they're doing. And yes.
Yeah. And also I think there's an element of just having listened to more. You've got 20 more years of music listening under your belt to, stuff does start to sound a little formulaic for stuff. It takes a little bit more for me to find it. And I like deep pockets that don't have to be different, but nonetheless, something about it has to be a little bit of a unique force. You're talking about 3 Days Grace sounding too much like Finger 11 initially, and then maybe they kind of found more of their own sound a bit over the course of their growth, and they stood out to you. Another band like that for me was Greta Van Fleet, coming out of the gate sounding just like Led Zeppelin. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
and I was like, I am having trouble listening to this. And a lot of people loved it or hated it based on how similar it was, because there hadn't been a band that sounded like that in forever.
Yeah.
But then later, like once they got to, in particular, the album that did it for me during COVID was Heat Above, I think that's the name of the whole album. It's definitely like the opening track. And dude, I was like, oh wow, they figured it out. I don't know at which album they figured it out officially at, but they're their own thing now. And yes, there's hearkening back to Robert Plant in that voice. And yes, I can hear the Led Zeppelin influence, but they have got some stuff here that simply Led Zeppelin never would have done, I was like, it was like the number one album I listened to for about 3 months, like a whole summer. And every time I revisit it, I'm like, damn, these guys are mega talented and
They're
just
so
like
good. They're
so good. I really would like to see them live. That would be something to catch.
Yeah, I have a friend who has seen them down here, and
Okay.
I tell him, like, because I don't
I've
follow.
heard great things.
I don't follow as much as I should. I try to be active about when bands come into town. I've been real lucky down here, but I should follow it more. But I want to see them. Another one in that same category to me is The Sword, the band called The Sword.
Okay.
They don't sound like Zeppelin. They're more like old school Black Sabbath. The Sword
I think they've come across my playlist. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're super good. It's like It's the same thing. They harken back to that old school style. But I gotta share. Then we're gonna keep a music motif in this one, because this is
because there's an album I've been wearing out that you're gonna be like, really?
No,
like,
rock.
yes.
This is the rock podcast, the music. So I went down the rabbit hole with this band that I really like. And it's a band called Poor Man's Poison. And Poor Man's Poison is a West Coast band that has like almost a bluegrassy vibe in a lot of their stuff. Some of their songs are bluegrassy. Some of their songs are, they hint on, a couple of them almost hint on a political line, but they usually keep it to like a really like dark folk. Like if someone like a folk band was like writing music that was more in the genre of like metal and hard rock, and the vocalist, we talk about vocalists with just good tone, unique color in their voice, like the singer for Poor Man's Poison, one of my favorite vocalists. I love his voice. I'll listen to Poor Man's Poison forever. And I was like content with Poor Man's Poison, with this, weird kind of dark hillbilly, rock up hillbilly style that they got going on. And I love it. They got like stand-up bass. They got a mandolin player in there. Banjos are in there. A lot of acoustic guitar stuff, doesn't really ever get heavy. Drums are usually just a small, like you picture like a bluegrass band, but they're playing like rock style. Like cool. It's really, really unique. And then I went down a rabbit hole that he did a song. The vocalist did a song with another band. I can't remember the name of the band off the top of my head, but they have a song together called If We Were Vampires. Like if we were, it's like a love song, really cool love song. If we were vampires and death was a joke, and we'd sit out on the sidewalk and smoke and laugh at all the lovers and their plans, but then I wouldn't feel the need to hold your hand. Like super, super great lyrics, sentimental stuff. Like, and I went down the rabbit hole listening. Okay, well, he's done a couple side projects, and he's done some recent stuff with some country singers. Travis something or other. I don't remember, but anyway, what I'm getting to is I found this weird album on Amazon Music that was called Done for Good. And it came up on the same search of this guy, and it's like, I started listening to it. The song is called Take Off. And I'm like, it starts and I'm like, this is like rockabilly. Like, I feel like I'm listening to like Brent Hinds or something, like Mastodon or something. Then it goes into like, best I can describe it, it's like Dharmata. Like, really? And what's happening is this is a rock band, like an underground, like the sound of it, like it's not a polished album at all. And I love that. It's like this.
So what's the name again of this side project of his?
Done for Good.
That's the name of the
And
band.
that's the name of the band, is Done for
Okay.
Good. The first
Done
song I
for
heard
Good.
was Takeoff. There's a couple other songs, but I sent one to Kurt, and Kurt Rogers was like, this, he was like, that's the Poor Man's Poison guy. I said, yeah, he's singing for a rock band, like an experimental, like proggy, really abstract type of like Dharmata is the best, like Dharmata or the band Hurt, all these bands that I really like. It's not always heavy. Some of it gets weird, some of it's ambient, some of it's toolish, but it's this amazing vocalist with this amazing voice doing rock. And then there's another guy who sings in there a little bit. And I want to say that this particular album was a collaboration where the vocalist from BNP did it, and the vocalist for the other band is there. When he sings, he has a great sing voice, and he has just this distinctive scream that doesn't happen often. So, I mean, it's not like they're a metal band, but in the songs where he screams, it's so like raw. And the recording, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but it's like the recording is not good, but the way they recorded it with not good sound, it's so good. It's like, when I heard it, I was like, this is exactly what I've been wanting. Like, I've been wanting to listen to this exact stuff. It's like, oh, I found the honey hole, this is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I was like, oh, I love it. Kurt's like, this is my favorite band. He was like, top 5. Kurt was
wow.
Like,
I got to check this
5.
out, man.
I sent it to Kyron, and Kyron was like, this is good. I was like, dude, isn't it? And they have such a spread on their songs.
Yeah.
Now, I will say they do have one song that really let me down. And these might be older recordings. I'm not sure exactly what era this album came out. This album might be 20 years old for all I know, but it's him. And there's one song where they just repeat the line a lot. And I'm like, oh man. And it's Break These Chains. They have a song where they start saying break these chains. And just me personally, I have a hang up, like, bro, don't say that. Don't put that in a song. Like, come on, man. No. It's like, it's been done. Like but that's my only hang up with it. And it's just that one song. And outside of that, he does say break these chains in the chorus, but it is a really good song. It's really unique. And particularly that song, Takeoff, it's like the opening or the second track on the album. It just goes from rockabilly, like surfabilly. It's like the Beach Boys heavy metal, but it's not like screaming. It's really good, clean singing. I think you would really dig it. Like,
I'm definitely going to check it out. You sold me on checking it out.
It might be 20 years old. It might be, it might be 30 years old. It might be 10 years old. I just don't know what era it is. I never looked up when it came out. But just for me, that's just the most unique rock thing I've heard in a long time. And it's like just that crazy, obscure underground thing. Like, who else knows about it? Like probably nobody. And there's songs that like 600 plays on YouTube, probably been on there for 3 decades.
Well, that can happen. I mean, there's definitely stuff that in particular, there was a couple of songs by that band called Vulcan, and I shared one of them with you. And but they had about as big of a fan base as we have, which, I mean, in other words, that nobody knows about them, right? But I was like, the recording's great, the songwriting's great, the lyrics are great, everything about it's like, fuck, this is awesome. And I think they're in Sweden. And then it's funny because you found like this underground treasure, and then on the other end of the spectrum, I'm over here, absolutely like. I've been listening nonstop for like a month since it came out, the new 21 Pilots album. And dude, I fucking love it.
That name, like, I know there's a band called 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what they sing.
They have a ton of big hits off of their like first album. Like they're really popular.
My mind's
they kind of rap.
Indie rock? Are they indie
rock?
No,
it's more like rap, and then separately like it's rock, but they always do kind of a weird spin on it, so it's like hip hop style rock, but it's not anything like.
Are they the band that did the the kids with the pumped up kicks better run fast?
You know what's so bad is I actually don't remember if that's them. I think that is them.
I'm
not like the
controversial
biggest
song.
fan,
Yeah.
but I have
I'm gonna
listened.
look it
Like,
up.
dude, it's two guys. I think they're brothers. Like, obviously, I don't know jack shit about them. Okay, I just
But their
find
album's
music.
really
I
good.
listen to it. I don't learn song names. I just like will drill an album. And this album, the new album, Breach, is I think that's what it's called. It's fucking great. And it's like, but it's one of those things like you realize how much is going on in it after a couple of listens. That's Finger Eleven's new album, yeah.
I just happened to pull Amazon Music up, and that's what's
First thing that popped up for
in
you.
the queue. Yeah, that's
Yeah. And but this 21 Pilots album, man, like there's a lot of things going on in it, but also just from a recording engineering standpoint, it's really interesting to hear some of the stuff that they did in it. You know, it's got a lot of experimental stuff happening in it that's all completely hook driven. Like
So
they're
it's
like
the
hook
album-
masters.
It's the album Breach is the new one.
Yeah, that's
Breach?
the new one. And I don't know that you'll like it necessarily, but for me, man, like it's been a fucking killer album to work out to. There's some stuff that feels like I think what I'm liking is that they're getting a little bit older now because they're a younger couple of guys. And so it's like, I feel like their music, it's still young at heart on some of the lyrical content, but before it was even younger. So it was like a little bit hard, kind of like Bad Flower. Bad Flower, I think, has some great stuff, but lyrically, it's like, if I was in high school, I would really connect with it.
I
You
get
know?
that. Yeah.
With no emotion, silenced emotions. In my eyes, can you see my soul? It still burns as it's growing old. You can't lock my mind in a prison. No freedom without a vision. Oh, my soul is an element. My tears are born from pure lament. All my regrets have already came and went. Don't hold me back 'cause I won't walk off sprint. Oh, my mind is spacious like a cave. I was born to be unchained and brave.
But they're getting older, and so the lyrics are getting a little bit like smarter. It's very, very clever. And it's very, if you really like, it's one of those like third listen things where you realize, like, it sounds good initially, and then there's going to be like, I only liked like the first couple of songs, and I liked half, now I like the whole thing.
Yeah.
But you
Well,
hear how much more is going on with it.
to clear the record, they're definitely not the group that did the Pumped Up Kick song.
Okay.
That would have came up on their top songs, and it's not. I honestly don't recognize any of these.
You're definitely going to if you listen to some of it.
Stressed Out, Ride,
Chlorine.
Heathens, Chlorine's on there.
Yeah.
The Line, Drum Show, Routines in the Night, House of Gold, City Walls, The Craving. Like,
Yeah.
On name value, I don't recognize any of these. I don't know if
They had some really big, they're huge. They're like normally like too mainstream, I would think, but and I would think formulaic, but they're not. They're like, they really put some, if you actually hone in on it, there's like, it's just clever. It goes a bunch of places that you'd never think. And then the way that the recording engineering is like, the way they drop stuff out and fade things back in and like clip drums on purpose and overdrive them. And like, there's just distorted sounds that you're getting, like they make things nasty, but clean. And I don't know that you'll like it, but I fucking love it. And I've been working out to it. It's been the workout album for me for the last month. 'Cause it just came out.
I'll queue up the that newest album, the red one.
Yeah, check that one out. And
on my morning drive, I got an hour and a half commute in the mornings.
Okay.
So I'll queue it up. I'll have time to check out a couple
it's
of them.
catchy, man. I mean, it might be too catchy for you. I would understand if you didn't like it.
I like
but-
catchy stuff. I just
Yeah.
I don't like the catchy dumb stuff. Like if the lyrics
Yeah.
are clever, and
Yeah.
I'll like it. Like I'll even if some of them are dumb, like they just the lyrical content has to be good. If it's like potato chip catchy, like okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. But if it's dumb, if the
This
vocals are
stuff
dumb,
it's simplistically smart. You know what I mean? Like it's reserved, but yet like that's all it needed. kind of lyrical content. And even the vocals, it's like he can sing all right, but it's not like the voice is like a, you know, some powerhouse or anything. It's just smart stuff. And I don't know, like
that's like the band I was just talking about too. Like it's he's not winning, you know, American Idol for, you know, range or power or anything, but it's like just a good, and I like that a lot. I like bands that do that. Like where
Fish in a Birdcage.
That's good. Fish in a Birdcage is another one. They're really good. You
really reserved vocal and but it always just feels right. And it's just beautiful. And it takes you to an atmospheric place. I love it.
Yeah. And he tells a good story. He does. Story. I like we need more of that in modern music where storytelling, like good storytelling, like it doesn't always have to be, oh, this happened to me, you know.
No.
I like songs from the heart. I got plenty of them. I've written plenty of them. Sometimes I get weird about it. Like I'll write very personal stuff. Like I've written and sang and released very, very personal stuff. And it's like after it's released, when I listen back, especially with other people around, I'm like, oh, turn out I don't want to listen to that.
It's a little too personal.
Yeah. But like,
well, that's a good
when
point.
When it's telling a story, like
absolutely. And I think that's where confusion happens with people that like I remember, you know, trying to show Tool to adults, and it's like he's singing about some twisted shit, you know, like sodomized. But it's like he's role playing. He's like, that's what's interesting about it, is that it's like that's not him. That's not a story about him.
Yeah, it's poetry. He's not singing about sticking his finger in his buddy's butt and then to his wrist and then his elbow and his shoulder. It's a metaphor. But it's a play. It's poetry. It's a play. It's an act.
Yeah,
especially
and it could be like it's the perspective. In some cases, on some songs, it's like it really is like the full role play of a character, without having to say he did this or she did that. He's just is being the person lyrically. Yeah, and it's like, oh well, that's like it's a bold way to do it. But if you listen to the album, there's contradictions all across it, because I mean, you got that happening on one end, and then you got this other end that's super spiritual and all this and stuff, and it's like these things aren't connected. It's all kind of, but I love the danger of that.
Well, and it's the total opposite with Puscifer, right? Because Puscifer is so light in contrast to Tool, and you know, Perfect Circle to an extent. It's so lighthearted, and there are some songs that are kind of like dark and maybe almost serious tone, but most of it is just super playful and really silly and fun, and I love it. Yeah,
totally. And talk about again the role playing thing. I mean, even I haven't gotten to see them personally live, but I've seen some of their live shows on, you know, that they put out, and it's super theatrical and choreographed.
Yeah. They do moves. They do moves. Him and the lady. They do stuff, and they switch instruments.
And it's weird. Stuff. It's like almost like robotic and stuff, and it's really cool. And it's like it's so cool that he would do something that different. You know?
Have you seen their new music video, Puscifers?
I saw the live one. I saw he introduces himself. I mean, or Block, whatever that character is.
No, is it the newest song where they start and they're both on stage and they're doing like the little thing?
That's the live one, but then he put up a director's cut that's a follow-up to that, and it's got a 4-minute introduction of him interviewing a character that is also him.
I love it.
And
he does all the characters. He does the old man. The old man's great. The old man was playing all through the Puscifer show.
Oh, neat.
And that's another thing with Maynard specifically. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast previously, but a few weeks ago, I went in hard on 10,000 Days again.
So good.
And I remember like that song 10,000 Days.
So good.
It's like, it's not actually the song. It's actually Wings of Mary part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
And it's about his mom. He wrote about his mom passing away, and it was so personal. And I remember reading interviews or hearing interviews with him, like the fans weren't kind about it. Like there was some negative reviews about it for some reason.
Those songs, or that he chose to sing about.
It was particularly like he sang like it was very personal, like really. And he said, I won't ever do that again. Like he said, I won't do that again. Like it was like
why?
a
Who would
negative,
possibly say?
I don't know. You bury, you take your band, you're in one of the biggest bands on the planet, right?
Those songs are phenomenal.
Love them. Yeah. Love them or hate them. Yeah. Those,
Just saying.
like I went
Wings
through.
of Marie was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's to me, the lyrically, like it's like top tier Tool. Like I don't care. The first half is amazing. The second half is amazing.
Dude.
And then the line where he says, fetch me the Spirit, the Son, and the Father.
That's what I was just thinking.
And he's like banging. He's singing about banging on the gates of heaven. Open up. Give me what I want. It's my time. It's my time.
Come home now.
Give me my
It's
way.
so good, dude.
Oh, dude, I feel it. And like, I'm in tears on the way to work. Like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, man, I'm sorry. Oh my God, it's so good. And let me listen to something stupid and laugh because, oh man, it's deep. And
Yeah.
I don't know who had a problem with it, but I remember there was an interview and he was like, oh, fuck, man. Like, yeah, I won't do that again. And then
I'm surprised he'd let that get to him when it's so apparent that the majority of people, those albums were wildly successful. They got number one for whatever stretch of time. Any album that goes number one for even a week is a really big deal. That's not an easy thing to achieve.
I mean, well, and this is the same album that had The Pot on it, right?
I know, dude.
The Pot, Jambi. I mean,
so good. And Writing 2 is an amazing song that I never hear people bring up, but that's the closing track
the
on
closer.
it. So good.
Yeah, that was early on. That was my favorite song. Like,
Me too.
On that track, I was like, "Whoo, monkeys! Give them thumbs. They forge a blade and run their brother down." I love the metaphor.
Dude.
I love all of it.
So good. Yeah, we could talk about that forever. There is another thing that I listened to recently that is, again, not something that would normally be in the wheelhouse of discussion for us, but Florence and the Machine. Have you ever heard her?
I have. She's great.
Dude, she's awesome. I'm just discovering her, and there's a new album out. There's a couple of songs off of it. Both have music videos. The whole album's out, but there's 2 music videos and 2 singles. And both songs are awesome, and the music videos are. It's been a while since I saw something that highly sexual. Like she's just like, dude, it's like an erotic playground of her like being. I mean, it's fine. It just reminds me of like what it used to be with.
But no matter how much heat I make, can't burn it down. Burn it down. Burn it down. Burn it. Bury your head deep in your sand. Your emotions turn red. Drive you insane. Twisting and tearing the threads, entangle the frame, control and manipulate the molecules. I won't fight, just fucking take it, do whatever, just don't break.
I don't know. Maybe I haven't been keeping up with female pop stars per se, and she's not like pop. That's why I like it. But
I want to say I think I dated like a hippie girl, or I was hanging out with a group of hippie girls when I was younger. And that was one of the groups that they were in.
Okay.
Like kind of maybe not hippie, but like edgy, kind of hip, modern hippie type of crew that I was with for a little bit younger.
It's
And
a different
Florence
sound
Machine.
she's got going on. Yeah, it's good. But I think it's Practical Magic and the other one's Scream. And they're both like really good songs. And just a different sound than you'd hear anywhere, Yeah. It's really good. But I haven't gotten to listen to the full, I listened to half of the album. It's new, so I want to listen to it more. It's definitely not bad, but there's just, it doesn't quite have the energy that the other 2 songs had. It's a little bit more low key, and I'm like, I kind of want to hear her keep going big like that because they get such a big sound and stuff. But very, very interesting stuff.
Yeah, I want to check it out.
Okay. Wait. You brought up two things, and I want to go back to both of them.
Okay,
because they're relevant to what you talked about. Okay.
Back it up.
First of all, dance choreography, Maynard, which is like, it's cool and that done that way. But there's a new, there's a new music video that just came out, I think a couple of days ago for Daughtry. Have you seen it?
No, I don't follow Daughtry, but I know.
Neither do I.
I haven't seen the video.
But I hadn't seen shit from him for a long time. So it's like, and as a music video director, I want to check out other people's music videos, right?
Research. It's research.
And I'm not gonna, I don't know, man. I mean, it's like, we don't really bash music, anybody on here when it comes to music because, everyone can like what they like. Daughtry's never really been my thing. So it starts off and dude, the way it's filmed, like the color grade on it and the filmic nature of it is fantastic. I'm like, this is good. This is good. This looks great. I'm like, I do want to make a video that kind of feels like that look, which is kind of harkens back to Moonshine that I did for Eli, the band Eli, and that where it looks like it's an old film, but it's like they went all the way with it. And I'm like, yeah, I'd kind of like to do something like that again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is looking great. And then it kind of starts to go a little south on me because like even the beginning with Daughtry, he's singing, it looks still really good. He's like singing straight to the camera, no mic, but he's in like a laid down position, which reminds me of something that we filmed that for a music video that we haven't released yet. And I'm like, oh, they kind of did that, but they did it right. This looks good. And then he crawls out of a grave and he's got face paint on like he's a zombie. But it just, I'm sorry, Daughtry.
Does it make sense?
That's where it went south because that makeup art just doesn't sell it for me. It looked, so he's bald, and they just made all of this white and they put these lines here and stuff like he's a zombie, but it's just so, and he's crawling out of a grave out of dirt, but he's so obviously, it's just paint with lines and it only goes halfway up to his head and the rest of his head is tan. And then he's like walking and then it's like, it's pretty choreographed with these walking. It kind of reminds me of Beat It. It's like, this is kind of weird. Like the group's just walking hard. He's ripping off his clothes and he strips down to just a vest. I'm like, this is a weird fashion choice for the rock thing.
He's showing off the muscles, right?
He's showing off his muscles. So it's just a vest. And then it gets, and then this is where I turned it off.
Did he have,
did
he have tattoos?
Yeah, I think he's got tattoos.
Full black tattoos?
No, I don't think so. I think he still had a lot of skin.
Okay, finish.
But then it goes to this other setup, and this is like a beautifully lit set that they have going on that feels like orangey and flamey, and it's like real theatrical. I'm like, this is all right. Maybe it's about to redeem itself here. And then he's starting to play. Well, he doesn't. He has the guitar, and then he puts it behind him. And I'm like, why aren't you going to play the guitar? You're finally at a mic. And now you're not going to play the guitar during the guitar parts. And then all these zombies are walking around with everyone in the band has this terrible face paint on that doesn't look like real zombies at all. It's just like, is this Day of the Dead stuff that we're celebrating? I would say that this is a Day of the Dead celebration, like the Mexican Day of the Dead. But it can't be because he did actually crawl out of the grave. He crawled out of a grave. So he is supposed to be a real zombie. And I'm like, this doesn't work. And then this is where I turned it off, Dick. All the other zombies walking around started dancing in unison, and it started to become like a full group dance choreography thing to the rock music. And I'm just like, he is trying to do Thriller. And I turned it off right
What
there.
is going on right now?
I was out. I don't know how it ends.
They turn it off. I can't do this shit. I can't do it. Oh, man, that's bad. So Daughtry's a weird cat. I think he's like going through phases. I like some of his music. I do like some of his music.
He's talented. It's just not my thing in general.
But I said this to Kurt because Kurt is the one who exposed me to Daughtry. And we're talking about Kurt Rogers again. So this is kind of funny because Kurt Rogers again showed me Daughtry. He really likes Daughtry. I'm like, do you like him because he's a bald white guy like you?
But there's a lot of singers like that.
Yeah, really, a lot of bald white guys out there.
Yeah.
But
Maynard's bald and white.
hey, yeah. But I was like, he does sing really good. Like he's got a good voice. And then I saw him at Rockville. They were at Rockville 2025. And
Yeah.
this was in the middle of the day. Like it's like 2 or 3 days in where like, man, it's like 110 degrees. There's no shade. I'm like beached whale. I'm not out of shape, but I'm like hot and beached whale and like laying on this, blanket that I got in the grass and Daughtry's playing. And I'm just like, Kurt's not there, but I told Kurt about this and he died. Like I'm with my crew, I got Amber and Kyron wasn't with it. He was going watching something he liked. He had nothing for Daughtry. But like Jason Cupp was there and Dave was there. And I think this was the set where Eric Durrance showed up with his daughter.
Oh,
I think that's
okay.
Around this. I think it was the same day. But
I bet Eric likes Daughtry.
I don't know if he does or not, but
I bet he does.
I looked over.
Which is fine. A lot of people like him.
It's fine. He's great. But I looked over. I was
Talented.
like, he's a really good singer, but does he have to like remind me about it in every part of every song? Like
he's just belting it the whole time.
Oh man, like dude, like I get it. You can go to 11, but like bring it down to 4 so that the 11 is like a bigger deal. Like when it quiets down, why are you doing all that extra shit with your voice just because you can? Like you can do shit with my voice too, but it doesn't mean it sounds good. Like it's technical and it takes talent, and it's really like it is very, very talented what he does. It just doesn't fucking sound cool. Like
there's no dynamics at that point.
For me, it's like does it have to be all the time with the singing thing? Like, can we just like chill and do like a little like normal stuff like that?
Well, it's just like a shredder. That won't stop, won't pull back, and it's like every opportunity. If it's a 2 guitar, it's like, dude, like pull it back for a minute, so that way when that happens, it's gonna be huge. But like, if it's happening the whole time,
you can go to 1,000%. If you give 1,000% for 3% of the song, it's going to be more impactful than if you give 1,000% for 89.7389% of the song. It's just gonna be better that way. Like,
and that's something that like I love some of the math rock stuff that's come out, which is apparently a different thing than prog rock.
It is a different thing,
and it's like more focused on the technical aspect, and I like a lot of it. I like a lot of it, and I think live it's even cooler, right? But the constant effort to make it be as complex as possible from start to finish. 3 songs in, I'm good. I got it. I think I'm out. Like there's just not enough dynamics to it.
I think that's why I can't listen to a whole Meshuggah album from start to finish. Like, I can put some Meshuggah on. I'm like, fucking back it up. Fuck yeah, fucking sick. About 8.5 minutes in, I'm like, all right. I gotta let's put on some like Credence or something for a little bit. Let's decompress from all this and chill for a while. Then I'll bring it back because I do like it. It's just like,
that's the thing.
So much in such a sensory overload is what Amber refers to it. She doesn't like bands like that are like so much like Mars Volta, old school Mars Volta stuff at the drive-in, just like fucking
that's probably
happening right now.
The most bombastic band that is one of my favorite bands ever, and has been ever since the last one that comes. Somehow they pull it off, but I will say my biggest hang up with Mars Volta is how much stuff they have on their albums that's not music. That just goes on these like 13-minute soundscapes. That's anyone would agree, even them, that this isn't the music part.
Yeah, I'm getting old because I've listened to a couple of songs recently.
Yeah,
I'm in the truck. I want to like sometimes I want to listen to something like I just want to like go. Like I want to put on like what's a good example? Parallel by the band As I Lay Dying. They have a song called Parallel. It fucking starts out perfect BPM. It's like, and I don't advocate for the vocalist for As I Lay Dying, but the song is just like a perfect running song. Like it just rips in, gets you going. It's like, hell yeah, bitching. That some songs here lately, like I try to find new stuff, and like I'm like I put something on and I hear like a noise, and then like noise, and then like fucking 28 seconds in, it's like, come on guys, sorry,
I'm ready for some
man.
music.
Like nope, I don't know what you're doing, but you lost me. Like, and I get to those. I'm not like that all the time, but you know, if I'm like wanting to jam something and it comes on, it's just like, what the fuck's going on? Hey, come on, guys, like. Give me the song. Like, what's going on? It's
interesting because, like, so Tool will put always on every album, there's like some soundscape track. And it's almost always towards the end. It's like before the last song or it is the last thing.
Yeah.
And I'll just be honest in that I skip it. You know, I mean, if there's something I skip on a Tool record, I skip the soundscape stuff. It's like, it's cool the first few times I listen to the album. But for something that I listen to thousands of times, those are the tracks that I just skip. I just don't have the patience for it. I think so. I mean, look, they know what they're doing. I'm just pointing out that I never have thought that the big long soundscape tracks that are just weird sounds is like that great. I think the best they ever did, Tool ever did on their soundscape stuff, was on Anima or Enema, however you want to say it. That album, because there was weird stuff in it, there was talking, there was jokes, there was stuff to figure out, there was different languages that were actually cookie or Spanish cookie recipes. That was interesting. Yeah, that was interesting.
It was a thing. They had the intermission track, which was a genuine intermission organ note playing an intermission song, and you felt like you were at an old-timey movie listening to the intermission. But then when the next song comes in, which is Jimmy, it's the intermission music, but it's on the guitar, and that's the song. It's like, oh, I was like, oh, how they do that? That is crazy. I mean, 16.
Very cool. It all made sense, tied it together.
Yeah, my favorite Tool album, like hands down. Like that's.
I don't have a hands down. I switch all around. It's just I just burn one out and then go on to the next and like, oh, this is genius. You know, like that's just all, that's my soul, man. I mean, that is literally the band that will always be that pocket of revisiting myself throughout decades. And no band will be able to hold that spot for me like that band, just because we've talked about that a million times. Whatever the band is that, or a couple of bands that did that for you at that age, in particular, that high school age, I think is the most pivotal.
Those are the ones.
Yeah.
We both had the Metallica stuff.
Yes, Metallica's always going to be in there.
Yeah, and for me, there was a couple of other ones. Days of the New, the first Days of the New album.
Very good stuff.
With Todd and Tull and those guys.
You know, I actually really liked that follow-up album too. It didn't get
green one.
Yeah,
the green one. Yeah,
I actually listened to it quite a bit. Yeah,
I actually liked a couple songs on the red one, on the third one. The red one had this one song called me and Kurt used to cover it rarely. We would cover it. It's like, I am the king of the jungle. I'm a little dog, but the king of the jungle makes me Die Born. That's the name of it.
Okay,
I will not die born. I will not go down. Like, kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
It had a classic, like, really cool acoustic guitar intro. That was the hook. Like, oh man, so good. Then the song kind of got a little corny towards the end. But it didn't matter because that first section was so good.
Yeah.
But for me, the entire first album was just nothing but some of the best acoustic guitar playing riffs of all time to me. And this is like these 17 and 19-year-old kids, Todd and Travis, who did that.
That's pretty wild.
Album. Travis Meeks was 17 when he recorded it. And it's like those riffs, those are weird alternate tuning stuff. Like, I know that guy had a tough life and he got on drugs and he was on an episode of Intervention and stuff. Like, he just kind of went way bad. But like, that's that Torture Genius thing, man.
I think the combination of those riffs with that singer was really something. And then they replaced the singer, and and then that became tantric, right? And then it
It was opposite of that. It was
Oh.
Travis Meeks is a vocalist for Days of the New. The first album was the full band. It was Travis, Todd Whitner on guitar, Matt Toll, I think, was on bass. I can't remember the drummer's name, but it was those three dudes and Travis Meeks. And
Okay.
what happened? They did the first album, the Yellow Album, and then
Yes.
Travis lost his fucking mind, punched one of them. I remember reading about it in Guitar
Oh.
Magazine or something, and kicked them all out of the band. All the guys are gone out of the band. He kicked them all out. So he did
Okay.
the second album. He said, "Oh yeah, it's like I can hire studio musicians that are so much more talented." And it was like,
Huh.
okay, that might be, but the music isn't as good.
Right. Right.
The musicianship, even there's more stuff on it, like there's more sounds. He used
Yeah.
more than just acoustic guitars. He gradually brought in more like symphony pieces and weird sounding stuff. Like
Yeah.
there's a song on that Red album that the best way I can describe it to me is it sounds like the video game music for the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 level called Sky Chase when you're in the airplane. You're in the airplane. Like, people look this up, and there's a Days of the New song sounds just fucking like it. It's weird.
Yeah.
But so the three guys that got kicked out of the band were like, man, we had a record deal, we were on tour, and now we're back to square one. And this story of these guys, I have nothing but respect for these three dudes. And Todd Whitner has always been the guy. When they came out with Tantric, he had the crazy dreads and this big like fan on his head. He's playing a Parker Fly guitar, it's weird shit, just cool as fuck. And when they were like, we want to do an album, we want to get something, and they found the singer Hugo for Tantric. They were like, oh, we found this guy, he's great. And they started Tantric, and then they were like, oh, this is amazing. They had the first album came out. It had, hey, I just found my way, and Breakdown, and then that acoustic song Morning. And it's I like it. It's like potato chip rock, but I like it. It wasn't Days of the New, but it was cool. And I really like them. But then Hugo, it kicks everybody out of the band. The same three guys.
Really?
Get removed from maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
are they terrible people?
Get removed from
Maybe they are the problem.
And I'm like, what the hell? And but then I saw Tantric, and they did they brought in a guy with the violin thing, but it wasn't a real violin. It was like this electric little flying V. It had frets.
Yeah.
Weirdest thing, but it sounded cool. And they had a song with the violin thing, and that was their hook. And then they came to Floyd's and a couple times. But so those three guys still follow them, and they do a band still. They do a band. They have a band that they do occasionally called Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg, Blisskreig or whatever. Blitzkrieg, like Blitzkrieg, but it's bliss, like happy bliss. And the singer for that band, another underrated vocalist, one of my all-time favorite vocalists, is a guy. I don't want to fuck his name. I think his name is Donald Carpenter. And Donald Carpenter was the vocalist for the band Submersed, which Submersed was like this Wind Up Records B-side band. Probably has Josh Freese on the first album, because I think Josh is on every Wind Up band's first album. But Donald Carpenter sings, and they had the opening track on that first album called In Due Time, I think, Hollow. And he does, this was a pumping hard rock, like Creed, like almost like a Creed sound. Mark Tremonti actually plays acoustic guitar on an intro, one of the songs on their first album, which is really cool. But Donald Carpenter does the thing that the vocalist for Finger 11 used to do a lot on the earliest album, where he would hit a note to a falsetto and back to a note. So like on Tip, there's a song, the Finger 11 first album, Tip, there's a song called Awake and Dreaming. And he goes, awake and dreaming. And he's switching back and forth, not like I do, but very, very, very.
I got to go check this song.
Very pleasant to the ear. Donald Carpenter did
warm up
that.
the vocals a little.
Yeah, Donald Carpenter did that a lot on that first Submersed album. After Submersed, Donald Carpenter sang for a band called I Empire. And I Empire featured Corey Lowry on bass, and it was a fucking great band. They were badass. Kurt and I and John Hoganson had a band. We opened up for them at
cool
the Beta Bar. It was really, because I got to meet one of my heroes, Donald Carpenter, and we had our little group. Jeff Withers was the bassist for that group. It was called This City is Haunted, was the name of that group. The only show we ever played. We only played under that name. You know, us four guys have been in plenty of groups together. Right. That, but the one show we played was opening for I Empire and another band, a good band. I can't remember them right now. Nice. But yeah, the Tantric guys, the Days of the New guys. Sorry, we went on a whole soundscape there. We went on a journey of the Days of the New history. Well, the whole episode ended up being just about bands, which is great. Yeah.
This is like some of the music we used to listen to, some of the music we are listening to.
What kind of music do you guys listen to, guys?
Yeah, let us know. What's one of your favorite old albums or bands, and then what's one of the newest things that is kind of a twist? I mean, unless like 21 Pilots is the only reason that's a twist at all is because it's not straight up rock. But I listen to all kinds of music, so
it's out of what your typical wheelhouse would be.
Yeah,
but it's fun to think, like, who were you then in those pivotal years in high school? Like, what did you listen to? What was the most impactful thing? Like, what song made you what moved you? What song, like, oh fuck, made you cry, like made you feel things for the first time, versus like a recent song that takes you on that journey, like who does it? I feel like maybe it's a combination of age and just maybe a little bit of what's the right word? Like maybe incompatibility with some of today's younger generations, like subject matter. Like, I don't relate to that. I'm an old man. I don't, these kids these days using these words. But it's, the music is music, and there's still stuff that is new that makes you feel a way. In talking about, younger generation, well, Greta Van Fleet, I don't know how old they are, but they're definitely younger than us, but they may only be like a decade younger than us. I'm not quite sure. But dude, there's a live studio session thing that they did last year, I think. It was like the BBC sessions or something like that, and it's them performing a handful of songs in studio. Yeah. And it's incredible. I mean, it does what you were just trying to say, like made you feel something. It reminded me of why I wanted to become a musician. It was like that good. But it also was songs off of a newer album than the one that I mentioned before, Heat Above. It's this newer one, or maybe, I think it's off their last album, which I wasn't blown away with, but the live session of it, when I got to see them perform it, I was like starstruck. I mean, I was just like, this is like the amount of spirit that's running through this performance is undeniable. Yeah. Like when you see that, it's like, God, there's just sometimes that energy, all of existence just manifests in a moment, and when it's captured on camera like that, it's you can't just make that out of thin air. You can't just plan that that's definitely going to happen. But it did happen on a few. The Master, I think in particular, that. Them performing the Master, I think it's BBC session. I'll put a link to it in this episode so people can check it out. But I love it when those amazing live performances are just captured. You're not gonna fucking get that from any AI. You're not gonna get that from AI Motown does Alice in Chains. Yeah, sorry. Fucking Jason Cup or somebody sent me a damn like AI song in a text the other day. I was like, sorry, man, I can't open that. Like, I can't give that plays. Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm sure it's really amusing. I'm not, it's not gonna hit my play.
It's in our episode. I put the System of Down Toxicity. I put a clip of it in there because it came up. And I did. I stuck it in there, and I have a clip of it, so it's going to be circulating the internet, Dick. You might hear it. You might hear a taste of it. But it's like, I think it's important to know a little bit of what we're up against, damn it.
Yeah, know your enemy. Damn it.
Know your enemy a little bit. Know your enemy a little bit. Anyway, dude, we've passed our hour. Guys, next week we'll probably have a guest. We actually had 2 different people that were potentially going to be guests this week, and neither one quite worked out last minute. We figured that out. But nonetheless, we will have guests back on regularly. That is going to be a thing.
We are definitely going to have a couple of fun guests in the future. I know Tom wants to come back, and a couple of folks from a little project that you and I worked on. We're going to get on here. I got to do a little work for that this evening. So
thanks. And I'm trying to get a hold of this film director too that did a very interesting movie that they're sending around to festivals now. And it's a really campy, weird little movie, and I think we'd have a lot to talk about, and a lot of stuff to relate to. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that too.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. This has been fun. Thanks for hanging with us, and tell us what your music nostalgia stories are. Send us comments, whatever. Like and subscribe. That's supposed to go in the beginning of the video.
Yeah, we're waiting.
Ash, he's moving. Come here. You've been in a coma for almost a year. The Normans attacked you. They were trying to steal your documentation on shutting down Hormone.
We finished your mind travel machine.
I had a scientific partner in the mind travel machine build, Dr. Cthulhu.